Right, our first alert weather days continue for heat and humidity, but there is relief in sight. And with a cold front, first alert radar will become a bit active by this time tomorrow with a threat for thunderstorms signaling a big change. Temperatures eventually dropping below average. We'll have the timeline on it all and how cool it gets in the first alert forecast.
Plus, another day in that brutal heat. Coming up right now at 6, we'll see how people are finding relief in many different ways.
Now, Channel 3 Eyewitness News starts with a first alert weather day.
It is day 3 of the extreme heat and more first alert weather days, and we're now officially in the midst of a heat wave. Good evening, and thanks for joining us right now for Eyewitness News at 6. I'm Mark Zinni. There won't be much relief even as the sun goes down in the next few hours. Right now, your reporter Taylor Knight standing by live in Wethersfield, where some people actually found a brand new spot, a new way to maybe try and stay cool as they get dinner. But first, let's get a check of that forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon. Mark.
Yeah, Mark, we need 3 consecutive days 90 or higher to achieve heat wave status in our part of the country. We reached 90 in the 10 o'clock hour today, really speaking to the magnitude of this heat. Yesterday, 98. Today, 99 for the Hartford area as measured at Bradley Airport, and also for Bridgeport, 94 yesterday, 95 today. So far, new records and likely more records to come for tomorrow, the 25th of June, 95 and 94 respectively. So we'll certainly challenge those during the afternoon. Right now, we're still in the mid and upper 90s inland, 90 to 95 along the shoreline. So these temperatures, again, very, very hot and feeling even hotter when you factor in the high levels of humidity. Still feeling like the 100 to 105 degree range for many locations here across our state. So we've had an extreme heat warning in place for most of Connecticut. That's been the case lately. And as we head through the evening hours, feels like values inland don't go out of the triple digits until, say, 8 o'clock as we head toward and past sunset. Then we're in the 90s, so that's still pretty bad. 90s along the shoreline go into the 80s by, say, 9 o'clock points thereafter. So tomorrow, our 4th consecutive and final first alert weather day for this stretch, expecting near record heat. Those heat index values between 95 and 105, so a notch down compared to today. So because of that, instead of an excessive heat warning, we have a heat advisory in effect border to border. And on that heat risk map tomorrow, still major implications from that combined heat and humidity. But a cold front dropping southward will bring the threat for some thunderstorms. We'll have the latest timing on those, and as well the cooler weather behind this boundary for Thursday and Friday, all ahead in the first alert 7-day.
Way too hot. I can't even go outside and play sports anymore because it's way too hot, so I have to sit inside and play video games all day.
Well, we certainly know it's hot out, and people are finding all kinds of ways to stay cool and hopefully get out of the sun. But some are heading into the heat and humidity anyway because of the promise of fried chicken. Your reporter Taylor Knight is live right now in Wethersfield, where it has been a hot day for customers and workers at a brand new Raising Cane's. Hi, Taylor.
Hi, Mark. Yeah, officers have been out in this heat all day directing traffic for the grand opening of this Raising Cane's. They've been getting in and out of their cruisers, likely taking a break in that AC that is cranking inside of their cruisers right now. And it's that air conditioning that many people are seeking out today.
It is humiliating hot. It's miserable.
It was a packed house at the North End Senior Center in Hartford. These folks staying in the chilly air conditioning during the hottest part of the day.
It's very cool on purpose. We are deliberately trying to make our seniors comfortable.
They're enjoying lunch.
Good menu item. We got barbecue chicken today.
And keeping track of those rising temps with Channel 3 on the TV.
We are tracking, though, relief on the way.
Cassandra Davidson has air conditioning in her house, but she says the senior centers just works better.
It's a steady flow. It's not like an air conditioner in one room and, you know, it's hot in the other. So it's a consistent flow. It's so cool in here that we need a sweater on, that we need a shirt or a jacket.
Staff at the senior center also keeping a close eye on everyone that walks through the doors, making sure they're safe and healthy during this heat wave.
We know kind of our most vulnerable, and we pay a little more attention to them when we have these kind of conditions.
In addition to the senior center, there are cooling centers all around the city. We have a full list on our website and on the WFSB Plus app. And if you are working outside in this heat, like the officers here, the CDC is recommending that you drink plenty of water and take breaks in the shade or the air conditioning. Your reporter live in Wethersfield, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, certainly good advice, Taylor. Thank you very much. Just into our newsroom right now at 6, an elected official being charged with larceny. The Bethel Police Department says yesterday workers at a Target suspected shoplifter, and officers then identified the person as Representative Rahib Ali Brennan. Investigators say he left the store without paying for about $27 worth of items. Ali Brennan took to social media to share his side of what happened, writing in part, quote, "2 items in my armload of others were not scanned. I was in a rush to bring items to my grandmother in the hospital. The store didn't have bags, and I was juggling multiple purchases." Now, he represents Bethel and Danbury and says he takes full responsibility for the mistake and is now working to resolve it. Mosquitoes in Bridgeport testing positive for West Nile virus, that according to the state mosquito management program. Officials trapped the insects on June 11th. They say these are the first mosquitoes to test positive in Connecticut this year. It's also one of the earlier detections of the virus in the past 25 years of them monitoring. It was 3 years ago today that Roe v. Wade was overturned. It was a seismic shift in abortion laws. Connecticut protects the right to choose, but women are still making life-changing decisions. Your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, is live at the state capitol with more from Hartford. Susan?
Mark, some states have been eroding women's reproductive rights. However, here in Connecticut, lawmakers have been strengthening them. Still, there is a lot of concern about what's happening in Washington, and women here in Connecticut are faced with difficult choices.
People are scared. I've said this countless times that they don't feel protected.
Ayanna Lyles is an OB/GYN. She says her patients are afraid to get pregnant. Even though Connecticut law protects a woman's right to choose, she says more women are deciding to be sterilized. And she advises her pregnant patients to think carefully about traveling to other states because they could be denied care.
You know, we've been fighting every day with the legislature, strong support in the legislature to expand those women's rights here in this state.
But Governor Lamont and other Democrats say the Trump administration is making things more dangerous by questioning the safety of abortion drugs like mifepristone.
It makes me concerned that we're not trusting science.
And defunding Planned Parenthood.
All while Congress is working on their big, ugly bill that will have devastating impacts on people in our state.
Peter Wolfgang is with the Family Institute of Connecticut.
I think the issue is very unsettled in the country, and I think there are a lot of people that want greater pro-life protections.
Dr. Lyles says even in states like Connecticut, where abortion is protected, anything can change.
And so it's up to us as citizens, as people who care about our bodies, to fight back, to let our government and let everyone who's in charge know what's important to us so that laws can reflect the actual population and not those of a few.
And just this year, Connecticut lawmakers passed another law. This one allows pregnant minors to have a say when it comes to their own care. Your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News, live at the state capitol tonight.
Susan, thank you. Still ahead tonight, right here at 6, a woman now in custody accused of purposely setting a house on fire. And as we're learning tonight, the arrest was anything but normal. Plus, have you heard about bank jugging? It's a new term going around on social media, why police say you should know about it when we come back. And right now, 6:08 on a Tuesday night, a hot Tuesday night. Looking live in Waterbury, hang in there one more day of this extreme heat. Your first alert forecast when Eyewitness News at 6 returns.
Tonight on Channel 3, it all begins with NCIS, followed by NCIS Origins and NCIS Sydney. Then it's Eyewitness News at 11. Sponsored by Connecticut Mattress. Sleep better, feel better with Connecticut Mattress. Extreme heat is here, and Channel 3 has your first alert. From record highs,
Impressive levels of humidity,
to pop-up storms,
Claps of thunder and some strikes of lightning.
you'll know first with Channel 3 First Alert Weather.
My father, he fell down on a sidewalk, ended up breaking his femur bone. We were just receiving nonstop bills. I had a lot of questions of like, what should I do next? That's when we really decided to go forward with the lawsuit and call the flood law firm. They took on the weight that my father really didn't know what to do. Flood law firm directed me on the path to take with this case. Literally took care of everything.
If you've been injured through no fault of your own, call the flood law firm today.
At Cahood Rugs, our showrooms are elegant, but our prices are down to earth. New customer or old friend, we're always glad to see you, and we're always ready to help. Whether you're measuring for broadloom or hardwood or just need design advice, make an appointment and we'll come to you. And if you're thinking of investing in a genuine Oriental rug, we'll give you all the right reasons you should. At Cahood Rugs, you can expect the highest quality service at the best prices. We're not a superstore, we're a superior store.
Cahood Rugs in West Hartford Center and Manchester, Connecticut.
Flash Car Wash, the official car wash of Channel 3. You gotta get a Flash Pass. You're watching Eyewitness News at 6 with Aaron Connolly, Mark Zenny, and First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon. Connecticut's #1 local news. Eyewitness News continues.
Today, we've learned federal immigration officials recently arrested a man right here in Connecticut. The Department of Homeland Security says ICE agents took Orlando Diaz-Sabata into custody earlier this month. He allegedly beat a Mexican government official to death. ICE alleges the suspect's also a Mexican gang member. It's not clear where in Connecticut he was arrested, but he remains in custody tonight. An update right now on a house fire in Harwinton a few weeks ago. State police accused Megan Duncan of intentionally setting it. When police arrived on the scene, they found her screaming and running around without a shirt on. Before it all happened, she also reportedly put a gun to her boyfriend's head, saying she was the devil. Her boyfriend claims she often smoked fentanyl. Duncan is now facing several charges. New information coming in tonight about why a man was arrested on Sunday after getting stuck in a chimney. Now check this out. Bristol police now say they believe Carlos Owens had been staying in the Pavilion building at Rockwell Park for some time, and apparently his dog was locked inside. Bristol firefighters found Owens in the chimney. You can see his legs right there dangling in the picture we got from police. Crews had to take apart the fireplace to free him there. A brand new trend putting you and your money at risk. Coming up tonight, what to keep an eye out for the next time you head to the ATM.
We have one more day of extreme heat and humidity. It's a dangerous combination. Then big changes are in store. They could come at the cost of some thunderstorms. The latest on that and how low temperatures eventually go. All ahead of the First Alert forecast when Eyewitness News at 6 continues.
Great Day at 9A has your ticket to family fun. Enter on Facebook to win a family 4-pack of combo passes to Quasi Amusement Park and Water Park, plus a cabana so the whole gang can chill. We're next winner tomorrow morning on Great Day at 9A.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's a lot of reasons. When you use Uber or Lyft, you're taking a gamble. You have no idea who that driver is. Were they paying attention to their phone or GPS and not the road? Injured in an Uber or Lyft accident, you could have a big case. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Imagine if you could always have the most cost-effective home and auto insurance without any effort. It's possible here with CCS.
We compare multiple insurance carriers the first time you call and at every renewal. Call us today.
Will your retirement be amazing, or will you be forced to downgrade your lifestyle? Worried your money will run out before you do? Strategies for Wealth Management is a leading financial organization committed to helping you prepare for your dream retirement. Founders Michael and Laura have already helped thousands of people.
Now that I have my money with Strategies, I am 100% confident.
Strategies developed the Retirement Quiz, one of the most insightful retirement tools ever. This interactive guide reveals your blind spots and helps you get on the path to financial freedom in retirement. Call, scan the QR code, or go to myretirementquiz.com now. You'll discover your level of risk in the stock market, how to plan for no longer receiving a paycheck, and the steps to be taking to never run out of money. The quiz takes just 5 minutes.
I can sleep better at night, knowing that my money is safe.
Your retirement is too important to wait. Call, scan, or go to myretirementquiz.com now to see how you can have a rock-solid retirement.
That's a spicy meatball.
Electrical problems got you down? Call Aiello Home Services for all your electrical needs today with no surprise upfront pricing and backed by a workmanship guarantee. Say, hello, Aiello.
You don't think about that can happen to me. It can happen to any.
Criminals are watching, and police want you to know about a rising crime trend in America. It's called bank jugging. And your reporter Dylan Fearon has more details on this and some tips as well for the next time you head to the ATM.
Monique Simmons is stopping by 2 ATMs in Berlin today. She withdraws money often, but always has her head on a swivel.
You're out there in the open. You're putting in private numbers. You don't know who's watching. You don't know what's going on.
Police do know what's going on, sounding the alarm on a new nationwide crime trend called jugging. Criminals sitting near banks and ATMs, watching us withdraw money, striking when we're vulnerable. Not right away because of increased security and surveillance at banks, but thieves will follow their targets until they park somewhere else, then break into the victim's car or rob them. In some cases around the country, victims have lost thousands, like these two in Florida.
And you withdrew money? 10,000. 10,000, all in cash? All in cash.
Somebody got into my vehicle and took $30,000.
When I do take money out, I am watching around me as to what's going on, who's there, are there cars behind me? So, and I always just use drive-through ATMs.
Berlin police are hoping you'll follow Monique's strategy. They want you to always be aware of your surroundings. Avoid using cell phones or headphones at the ATM. Put the cash in your wallet or purse immediately and check to see if anyone's following you out of the parking lot. Ed Stevens is the police chief in Wolcott and a director of the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association.
When you leave, is there a car following you? If there is, you believe it's following you, call 911. If you know where the nearest police station is, go right there. Do not go right home. You know, again, it doesn't hurt to look in your mirror and drive around a little bit after taking, money from a bank. Make sure no one's following you.
Sometimes you get so comfortable in what it is that you're doing, you don't think about that can happen to me. It can happen to anyone.
Police say there's been a wave of bank jugging arrests in Texas and that this has spread to the Carolinas. No reports of any arrests in Connecticut yet, but police want this on your radar. We'll keep you updated if there are any. I'm your reporter in Berlin tonight, Dylan Fearon, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, we were forecasting today temperatures to reach or even exceed 100 degrees. That was certainly the case in some communities. Meriden topped out at 101. Officially, however, at Windsor Locks for the Hartford area, our high temperature 99. So joining the ranks of the top 3 warmest days since records have been kept, and these date back to 1905. So we hit 100 twice, most recently in 1964. Today, joining 2021, so just about 4 years ago with a high of 99, and then multiple years we've hit 98 degrees. Now tomorrow is going to be hot as well and humid, but not quite as extreme as today. Temperatures will likely challenge records yet again. So and when you factor in the humidity, heat index values going up, say 95 to 105, but some big relief on tap as we check out the heat risk map. No issues for Thursday or Friday. So some relief on the way. We just have to get through one more day. Right now we still have temperatures in the mid and upper 90s inland, 90 to 95 along the shoreline. Today we've had some wind gusts hour, so that at least felt a little bit better if you've been spending any time outdoors, and that wind direction also helping to boost coastal communities nearly as warm as inland areas this afternoon, as opposed to the sea breeze that kept them dramatically cooler in some spots yesterday. So we do have dew point values in the 60s and 70s. When you factor that into the actual air temperature, it's feeling more like 100 to 110. 107 right now, the heat index in Chester, even New Haven at 101, and Groton right at the century mark. So certainly plan accordingly if you're heading out and about this evening, perhaps into our capital city 80 for the Yard Goats game against the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. 98 right now as we head toward and past sunset. Temperatures going into the 80s, but heat index values remain in the 90s. 93 right now looking live from New Haven. So region-wide, we're quiet here across southern New England, but we've been tracking some developing thunderstorms to our north near the Canadian border. This is in association with a cold front that eventually drops southward, bringing that chance for storms to Connecticut as soon as tomorrow. So for tonight, we bottom out in the mid-70s for many locations. Some low 70s across the hills of Litchfield County. Then tomorrow afternoon, 90 to 95 should do it for most spots inland. Also between 90 and 95 along the shoreline. So a little bit cooler across northern Litchfield County. Cooler as well, relatively speaking, near 90 in the Groton, New London area, 94 for New Haven, 96 in the greater Hartford area. So this boundary, this cold front sinking slowly in our direction will be the focal point for some isolated thunderstorms to develop. Very hit and miss in nature here within our state. Better chance for storminess develops to our west, say New Jersey across parts of Pennsylvania. So that is where we have that level 1 risk for storms. It does include Connecticut, so we can't rule out if one of these storms were to develop within our borders to produce some gusty, perhaps damaging wind, some lightning, of course, and that goes severe or otherwise with any development. If you hear thunder, get inside, let these storms pass you by. Tomorrow, a heat advisory, so not quite to the level of the past couple of days when we've had excessive heat warnings. And tomorrow evening, here's a look at dew point values. Well into the 70s, they drop through the 60s into the 50s as we start our Thursday. Now, Thursday also will feature an abundance of cloud cover, some intervals of sun, but an ongoing chance for some scattered showers. And with an onshore flow that's going to be developing, temps on Thursday held into the mid-70s, even cooler weather on Friday, mostly cloudy, low 70s. Our overnight lows will go from the mid-70s into the 60s as we head toward the end of the week, into the upcoming weekend. Now, speaking of the weekend, Saturday may not be entirely dry. There's a chance for some isolated showers, perhaps a thunderstorm as this warmer, muggier air begins moving back into southern New England. So Sunday, increasing sunshine, also increasing warmth. We're back in the low and mid 80s, mid to upper 80s by Monday, dry to start next week, and then perhaps upper 80s, if not low 90s, especially inland by Tuesday. Also, a cold front will be approaching by then. That could bring the chance for some thunderstorms to the state.
Mark, thank you. In Hartford, the Village for Families and Children now expanding its recreational area. In fact, work on Albany Avenue is already underway. The organization held a groundbreaking ceremony today. What once was an orphanage is now a one-of-a-kind mental health center for children and teenagers. The new recreation area will include playgrounds, ball fields, and walking trails.
Magic happens here, that real change, as we say, really happens here, and children have an opportunity to be kids and get care that is especially designed for them because they are not little adults, they are children.
The Village says the total cost of renovation work is about $3.4 million. They have most of that covered through grants and private donations. Stay with us. Eyewitness News at 6. We'll be right back.
Two of Nissan's hottest models. 0% financing. Visit Leah Nissan of Enfield and buy a new Nissan Rogue with 0% financing up to 60 months. Or buy a new Nissan Pathfinder with 0% up to 60 months. Choose from over 700 new Nissans available, including Rogue and Pathfinder. Your choice. 0% financing up to 60 months. Visit Leah Nissan of Enfield on Paloma Drive or LeahNissanEnfield.com.
Leah. Upset stomach? Iberogast. Indigestion? Iberogast. Bloating? Iberogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Iberogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better. 6 digestive symptoms, the power of nature. Iberogast.
State, there's everything to love. From to Green Lakes. Whatever moves you, inspires you, recharges you, you'll find it here. New York State, everything you love. Plan your summer getaway at iloveny.com.
Looks like we've told people Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. For the last time. Huh, shallow. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story? You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
Good
Goodspeed Musicals presents All Shook Up. It's the hottest musical of the summer, and the hits are all Elvis. Begins June 27th at the Goodspeed in East Haddam. Tickets at goodspeed.org.
I have my eye on this paper.
We see your dreams.
I have my eye on the books.
Your realities.
How many now?
38 at the moment.
I still remember your first.
I have my eye on expansion.
And your opportunities.
We can do that.
We see you when other banks really don't. So we can see you through anything. Always looking out for you. Ion Bank.
Dear Triathlon, let's splash through rushing rivers, take on iconic trails, and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't kick back and enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs.
Right now, you can lease RAV4, the #1 selling vehicle in America, for just $319 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hi everybody, Scott Haney at Middlebury Furniture and Home Design, where furniture consignment is easy. Consign your unique furniture fast with our free appraisals. Buy rare, high-quality vintage furniture on display in this 52,000 square foot showroom.
Going town by town right now, starting with an update tonight on a 3 Cares event in New Britain from over the weekend. We teamed up with Mission of Mercy to put on a free dental clinic at New Britain High School. Organizers say they treated more than 1,100 patients with roughly $1.2 million in dental services provided by the 800 volunteers. Incredible, incredible day, and thanks to everybody. Meanwhile, in East Haven, the annual fireworks celebration coming up Saturday. Police just reminding everyone there will be some temporary traffic changes to help manage large crowds heading to and from the beach area.
All right, tomorrow, another first alert weather day as our first heat wave of the year enters its 4th and final day. There's a chance for some isolated thunderstorms with a cold front moving in tomorrow afternoon. Records